Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Garth and I am here with DJ CeeLo. He is going to be actually DJing and on our panel for our next networking event next Thursday, May the 22nd. And this one is going to be a little different. We're going to be on the rooftop and it's going to be a vibe. So I didn't know this about DJ CeeLo until this month, but he wears many hats. He does a lot of things, so we're going to talk about that today. So, DJ CeeLo, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do outside of DJing?
Well, of course, again, I'm DJ CeeLo. As you stated that I do DJ. I've been DJing for over 25 years now, but outside of DJing, I have a background in IT and project management, along with the application configuration. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've started quite a few businesses. Some I've kind of let go by the wayside, but some I've kind of kept up on. I also have my hands in a little bit of real estate. I have a nonprofit called Kicks for Grades, where I give back high-end sneakers to kids who make good grades because I'm a sneakerhead as well. Through that nonprofit, I've been able to give away cars to college kids and just overall just into philanthropy. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And so with all the hats that you wear, how do you manage all this? What's the secret?
Man, focus, waking up and really approaching life with the glass half full every day, understanding that when you wear many hats, there are a lot of things that can come up and go south, but just kind of trying to really give myself grace, understanding that, I am only one person and sometimes you have to step away and kind of refill your cup. Some other things, just knowing that nothing beats a failure but a try, right? Like understanding that even if you try to do something and it may not turn out as big as you want the first time, it doesn't mean it failed. It just means you may need to go back to the drawing board and kind of start over. So those are some of the tools that I kind of lock in for myself, whenever I'm doing stuff and wearing those many hats and trying to do different things.
Yeah, I have failed so many times. I've lost count. And
Right.
It sounds weird. I actually like to fail sometimes because I learn from my mistakes. I'm like, I'm not going to invest in that again. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
So networking. Let's talk about it. Has there been a big aha moment when it comes to networking? How has it changed your career?
Networking has changed my career just based off of the relationships that I have. And I shouldn't say it's changed my career. It's allowed me to have a long standing in a career with longevity. I'm always willing to network and work with other DJs. I'm willing to put myself in a room with other people, being kind of well-versed. One of the things that I said a long time ago, and that's kind of why my Instagram name is like Entity DJ CeeLo, because I never just wanted to be like looked at as a DJ. I really wanted to be looked at as kind of like an entity. So networking is key, and that's the reason why I'm successful at a lot of the things, because I've been able to keep a lot of those bridges, good and been able to cross those bridges and really build those networks. So networking is truly key. I think it's a lost art for it because, we live on social media now where there are times where, we just want to send a DM or something like that, or we want to like a picture, but definitely to be able to like step in the room, work with different people and let people know who you are. Ask those questions. Don't be afraid to say, hey, what is it that you do? I'm interested in that. How can I do that? How can I be a part of that? All those things that help with network. So networking is definitely key. It's definitely helped me in my career.
And I love hearing you say that you network with other DJs. I find, and I can't say that it's just Nashville, a lot of people are afraid to network with people within their own industry. So I want to talk about that. Tell us why that's important.
I think it's important because we all have different backgrounds. We're all strong in different areas. So you never know what someone else may be strong in that you may not be. So for me, I always welcome working with newer DJs because I can always learn something, right? Like if I go out to California and DJ somewhere, that's a city I don't always live in. However, if I'm networking with these DJs and paying attention and learning from them, now I add something more to my repertoire. So, it's always a good thing to just be able to, open yourself up to really learning. You never stop learning. And that's what networking is. Networking is stepping in a room and asking the questions to learn.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what he said? He said to learn. And I think a lot of times people come to networking events to take how many leads can I get, but it's really just to give and learn. So I love it. With you doing so many things, what's your biggest tip for staying authentic across so many different industries?
Man, being yourself and not trying to copycat what the next person is doing. Staying true to yourself. And that's one of the things that, we talk about Nashville. Nashville it's like one of those places where it creates this big fish in a small pond. And so it's really easy to kind of replicate or see somebody doing something and say, aha, I want to do that. But for me, I always try to figure out if everybody's doing this, I want to go to the the right and do this, you know, and just really trying to perfect those things. And that doesn't mean that, like, you know, there won't be certain similarities at times, but really just kind of staying true to yourself and looking for things that are missing in the market and missing in the areas versus saying, oh, I'm going to go, you know, do this. So like for me, it's always just not wanting to sound like another DJ, not wanting to play. I always want to play different records, you know, oh, what kind of business can I create? Okay, so there's nobody hanging out on the water like that. Let me create a boat business and take brunch instead of doing brunch at all the restaurants where it's turned. Let me take brunch to a boat, brunch a boat and put it on the water and give people that experience, you know. So just, you know, staying authentic to the things I like and the things that I love to do. And those are the things that if you really love to do something, you know, and you spend a lot of time doing it, there's always a way to monetize it if you do the research on it, you know, because you can provide a service or something you love to do for somebody else.
I love it. Okay, so let me ask you this. What has been a network connection that has just changed the game for you?
You know, I'll probably have to say, I can list a few of them. I have guys that's out in Los Angeles that has allowed me to come out there and, you know, grow my career in media that way. You know, guys that live in Nashville. And again, like just sitting and listening, like some of the DJs that we know from a DJ aspect, just listening and going and talking to them and sharing with them from a real estate standpoint, talking to realtors. You know, one of my business partner with the boat, he's a great realtor, you know, in the city of Nashville. Shout out to Ron Howard, just a shameless plug. But, you know, I pick Ron's brain about things. And so just, again, one of those things. But to change, I would say that's been really big in my career. It's been so many. Like it really has.
I mean, doing it for over 20 years. That is.
Yeah, it's been so many. You know, every time I think that I've hit the plateau and gotten a chance to do something, like, okay, this tops it, then I got something else.
So I see a lot of DJs content, and I've been watching you, and I really love your content that you put out. I feel like it's consistent and you're sharing who you are. So how do you use your platforms to empower other entrepreneurs and creatives? And I think you're doing an excellent job, by the way.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, the funny part is I never really looked at it like some of the stuff that I put out would be inspiring to someone else. I just try to always, you know, and I'm not perfect, you know, by far, but I try to always really just think about it from a substance base. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, social media is a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and that's great. You know, like I mean, we understand what smoke and mirrors is, but I think that there's still a level of staying true to yourself and just really being you and keeping a substance level. So for me, it's just always not trying to do what someone else is doing. You know, like again, and so that's kind of what it is. That's the secret to the small pie of success that I would claim to have. You know. Okay,
well, I know you're busy, you're moving around, so I just thank you for taking out the time to chat with me. If you guys want to connect with him, pull up on us on May the 22nd, and you guys, you have to have a ticket to enter. You can't just pop up. Okay,
don't miss out.
RSVP. Visit the link in our bio, and we will see you on Thursday. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. No problem. Thank y'all.